Hi, we're Harriet, Mauro, and this is Tofu. And in 2021, we bought 4 acres of land on the east coast of Spain with the dream of living a simpler, more sustainable life, in tune with nature, the seasons, and above all, our values. Join us as we try and bring our beautiful land back to productivity, restore our little stone cottage, and learn how to make a living on our land.
Am I actually going to do this? I mean, obviously I've quit jobs before. I've even quit plenty of jobs before without another one to go to, but for some reason this feels different. The thing is, my job is not bad. I've got a good deal, really. I've even managed to work my way down to fewer hours. But a few things have changed lately, and it just feels like if I don't take this opportunity now, I could be waiting for another 2 years until I get the chance to do this again. I might be mad. I think I'm mad. I've got this row of beds with nothing in it. Just a few little kales here, a couple of lettuces, some straggly little broccolis. Oh my god. I just feel really guilty about this, you know? I think that's the main feeling. Not scared, just guilty. Guilty that it's me and not Mauro doing this. Although obviously he's really supportive and he wants me to. Guilty that we're even in a position to do this in the first place. Guilty that I'm not just working harder. Why don't I just keep my head down and keep working and earning money? You know, like we have these ideas so ingrained in us about what we're supposed to do. You have a good job, why would you leave it? Why would you toss it away with nothing else to go to? Like, guilty is just how I feel, and also bad for my company because, I mean, some people would contest this and be like, don't feel bad for your company, you're replaceable. But I've always been like a good employee and a good student, and you know, it's just hard to get out of those ways of thinking, and you don't like to displease people or disappoint people. At least I don't, so I feel bad for that as well. I guess this is something I have to work with. I've never had this. Not having a job as an adult. I've always had a job or something. This is going to be really weird. What am I going to do? No, I'll tell you what we're going to do and why we're doing this now. It's not as crazy as it seems. I hope. We decided there's really no reason at the moment for both of us to be working. Mauro has a job, he's happy in his job and he wants to carry on. There's so much that we want to do here, and we just really need the time. I mean, I was going to be reducing my hours at work anyway, but that didn't quite go as planned. And even so, what we want to do maybe just needs like full investment of time from someone. The way we see it is we've got this chance now this year, we've got this spring, this summer coming up, this growing season. Why not just put everything we've got into it this season, see if it works? And if not, think again, take another job, look for something else. I feel like we've got to give it a go if we want it to happen. We don't have any major expenses coming up either. We'll be alright with one salary. We don't have rent in Valencia. We don't have our flat there anymore. Mauro stays with his parents when he is in the city. We bought things like the car, the house and stuff obviously, the solar last year, those big investments which took a lot of money and a lot of our savings. And we're not planning to do any major investments this year. We're confident that we can survive and maybe build something, maybe build the thing that we want to build in this time that we've got. So we're gonna give it our best shot, I guess. Am I mad? This is ridiculous. I've only grown a single turnip to like full size. That's the only vegetable that I've grown so far.
Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me. There's something else we need to find. Say you'll go, don't make me wait. There's no need to hesitate. Let's make footprints in sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new, me and you. Blue is the sky, like the color of your eyes. Blue is your heart. It's been like that from the start. Say you'll stay till the morning light. I'll help you through the fight. Let's make footprints in the sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new, me and you.
Okay, so let me just take a step back and explain a bit about what we're planning for this project and how we think this is all going to work. I don't know if I've explicitly mentioned in another video, but what we really want to do here, the dream we have for this place, is to develop a market garden and sell organic, local, high quality produce direct to customers. Maybe we'd have a market stall in a nearby town, maybe we'd have a small veg box scheme, maybe we'd try and sell direct to restaurants too. We're not really sure how it would look, but that's the dream that we have for this land. We believe that we have enough space and enough water, which is the most important thing, for something like this to become a reality. We're not under any illusion that it's going to be easy, or that it's going to pay all the bills, at least not at the beginning and maybe not ever. But it's part of a, let's say, multi-pronged approach that we have to diversifying our income, generating it more on our own terms, whilst doing something that we want to do and believe is genuinely having a positive effect on the world. Of course, it's a long way off actually coming to fruition, and I know I'm not going to make it happen this year. I still have got so much to learn about everything, about growing, about improving the soil and managing the land, not to mention all the infrastructure that we'd need to get in place, and the work of figuring out our market and how to actually make a viable business, which neither of us have ever done before. But we have to start somewhere, and where we need to start is with learning how to grow as much food as possible for ourselves.
Walk with me. Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me. Down the road, there's sunshine and light. Say you'll go, don't make me wait. There's no need to hesitate. Let's make footprints in the sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new. Let's make footprints in the sand. Let's make miracles. Come hold my hand. Let's find something new, me and you. Ooh.
So I'm up super early today as the sun is just rising, to sow some broad beans in this bed that we prepared yesterday. It's the end of February, so it's a good time to plant broad beans. Here in Spain you can plant them all the way through from the autumn all the way through to February, which was a surprise for me. To me they always were like a spring thing in the UK, but no, here more of a winter crop. This variety is called Fava Reina Mora, which is actually Catalan. This is a Catalan seed company. Habas with an H in Spanish. So yeah.
Over the last few months I've been trying to really extend our growing area. I've been preparing a lot more beds. My aim for this year is to get this whole field in front of the house full of beds. I've done some experiments with flood irrigation and I'm not entirely happy with the results, so I think I'm probably going to go with drip irrigation for this field, which is what a lot of people have been suggesting. And I think we have the pressure from our aljibe, our water deposit, to irrigate this field with no additional pump required. So I'll be giving that a go soon. I haven't started that project yet. Luckily we've had a lot of rain lately, so it hasn't been necessary, but that is definitely something I'm going to need to do in the next couple of months probably, because summer is fast approaching. I've been using a method, a no-dig method, which is explained really well in a video by Morag Gamble, which I'll link in the description. It's basically a no-dig method where you first go along and you aerate the soil with either a normal garden fork or a broad fork, and then you layer on a layer of compost, a thick layer of compost. We don't have as much as I would like at the moment. We haven't been able to produce a huge amount this year, so our layer of compost isn't as thick as ideally it would be. But yeah, we layer on a layer of compost and then a weed barrier, in this case cardboard, which is the easiest thing for me to come by, and then a thick layer of straw, which mostly acts as a moisture retainer. My main challenge at the moment actually is not really having any space to grow crops under cover. My various attempts at building a cold frame have ended up nowhere, either due to rain or getting distracted by other things that I need to do. And yeah, we still don't have a cold frame. I'm hoping we might be able to knock something together for this spring, but I'm not really sure. Our last frost date on our farm is April the 15th, so it's probably too late now. There's probably no point, but maybe next year we'll have a greenhouse or a polytunnel or something. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Luckily we have a nice long growing season here and plenty of plants grow really well, so I'm sure that I can get most things that I want to grow. I'll just have to go along with nature's whims and let her do things on her own time. I'm doing a lot of direct seeding, which is really lovely and easy and really nice, and yeah, I'm just counting every little seedling that sprouts as a huge win this year. I've been off work for about a week now, and it's been a funny week because it's just been raining the whole time. So you might have seen in other videos we've been battling with the rain for nearly 2 weeks now. We've had trouble with our solar, we've had trouble with the generator, we've been many days and nights without power at all, and yeah, it wasn't exactly the start that I had in mind. I haven't been able to get nearly as much done as I was hoping for. But it really does feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders because there's no rush anymore.
I don't have to worry about what I can get done in just a weekend. I don't have to worry if the weekend is a washout and I can't do what I wanted, because I can just try again the next day. It really has felt good. It really has been a huge shift in mindset. It wasn't until I stopped working and I suddenly had this kind of mental space to really realize and see how much pressure I had been putting on myself for so long to just be doing something, trying to move forward with something every single minute of light that we had, and actually to look back on the winter and to realize now that the winter's over and that period of working full-time and trying to survive and do projects, now that that's over, I look back and I honestly think how did I do that? It was really hard, and I think when you're in something you don't really stop and realize, because it's what it is, you can't do anything about it. But looking back, I just think, wow, I'll remember that first year that we were living here. Maybe I make it look really nice in the videos, but the reality was just many cold, freezing days by the fire, wrapped in a blanket, working on my laptop with no light coming into the house really at all, trying in the few minutes of daylight that I had at the beginning and the end of the day between my 9 to 5 job to do all the things that I need to do, like fetch water and do all the outdoor things like the washing up, the cooking, everything. It was tough. Anyway, that phase is over now and we're on to a new phase. I've never done anything like this before. I've never stopped work to do something completely of my own choosing. So I'm very excited, very happy, and feel very fortunate to be able to do this.